We know when it comes to double standards in sports, they exist. Take Jalen Hurts, quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and Brock Purdy, who plays the same position for the San Francisco 49ers. Hurts, a former Heisman Trophy finalist, has shown improvement over the years, including a run to the Super Bowl last season. Purdy, meanwhile, was picked number 262 in the 2022 NFL Draft, aka Mr. Irrelevant. While Purdy has also shown improvement in the court of public football opinion, head coach Kyle Shanahan has been regarded as the architect of Purdy's success, not the player himself. The comparison came to light not when both teams faced each other, but because of this guy. Writer Mike Sielski of the Philadelphia Inquirer.
It is Rocky Day, and I'm standing at the statue, the Rocky statue. Here it is, in front of the museum steps, the Art Museum in Philadelphia. Of course, this is the patron saint of the underdog all over the world, internationally recognized as the symbol of toughness and perseverance against all odds. And that's what we have in South Philadelphia today, Niners and Eagles. And here's the headline in the Philadelphia Inquirer in the Mike Sielski column: the ultimate underdog, Brock Purdy versus the city that loves the label.
This was the piece he wrote, which was featured by ESPN's Sal Paolantonio. The issue is Jalen Hurts is an underdog too. Depending on which recruiting site one uses, Hurts, per Rivals.com, was the number 231 ranked player nationally. Ahead of him on the depth chart at Alabama was Cooper Bateman, Blake Barnett, a 5-star, and David Cornwell. He battled in practice and would replace Barnett in the Tide's season opener and starred against USC in a rout. Nick Saban officially had his guy, and he put the time in. Former player Mike Locksley would say he was the biggest nag. He was the guy saying, "Hey, coach, can we get an extra film, extra this, extra that?" He never left the facility. He didn't have a social life. He just didn't care. It was all about learning that offense as quickly as possible. He became the first true freshman to start at the position at the school since 1984. He led the Tide to a 14-0 record, took them to the College Football Playoff National Championship game, which ended in a loss to Deshaun Watson and Clemson. Although Hurts led his team to a 12-1 record the next year and a College Football Playoff National Championship the next, he was benched in favor of freshman Tua Tagovailoa, leading Alabama to a win over rival Georgia. That next season, head coach Nick Saban said it was an open competition, which Tua Tagovailoa would go on to win. Locksley would remember a meeting he had with Hurts, tears flowing, emotions high, asking, what does he do? Where does he go from here? Quote, "I didn't have any answers for him. I just told him, I don't know why these things happen, but at some point you'll be able to use these experiences. The world has a way of correcting itself." Hurts would ride the bench a majority of the season and watched Alabama get throttled by Clemson in the national championship game. He would transfer to Oklahoma, finish second in Heisman voting, and compile a 12-2 record. One video circulated on YouTube years back of Hurts squatting over 600 pounds. Though, of course, it wasn't easy. Once he completed his rep, all his teammates rejoiced in what they saw.
Well, it just got interesting, ladies and gentlemen, as Jalen Hurts is going to Doug Peterson and that Philadelphia offense.
Draft day. Hurts gets selected by Philly. Here was the problem with that selection at the time.
Look, the fact of the matter is, when you get paid $120 million, whatever, you are paid to elevate your team.
Carson Wentz just got extended for $128 million. And, well, Wentz faltered. After losing their fourth straight, the Eagles would bench their MVP candidate and turn to none other than Jalen Hurts. Head coach Nick Sirianni comes in as a weird opening presser. The team trades Carson Wentz, and Devontae Smith, Hurts' former collegiate teammate, would reunite on the team. As the Ringer's Jordan Ritter-Kahn wrote, Hurts has the story of an underdog, but the resume of a phenom, and the mentality of a coach's kid with the physicality of an athletic unicorn. So pardon me, and many others who saw this piece and scream foul, because it wasn't just missing the mark, it was an errant throw. Hurts is admired and beloved here, but Brock Purdy would be a god in Philadelphia, Sielski wrote, a god. The last player picked in the 2022 draft, leading the league in completion percentage, passer rating, and yards per attempt, throwing 19 touchdown passes and just 6 interceptions. Brock Purdy would be the latest and maybe the most lovable underdog in the city that goes gaga for any athlete who had a modicum of adversity to overcome. Clarence Hill Jr., longtime beat writer for the Cowboys, would criticize the piece. This is so unfair to Jalen Hurts, who does everything right on and off the field. He has his own underdog story. He wasn't given anything and wasn't drafted to be the starter, a hard worker, blue-collar guy. But Purdy is a better representative of Philly, a potential god? Why? Longtime ESPN host Stan Verrett would weigh in. What does this even mean? Reese Shipley of Awful Announcing would accurately put in his piece, the perceived racial undertones of this quote from Sielski appear to be the point of contention for most, along with the fact that Hurts is widely regarded as one of the best quarterbacks in football at the moment.